afternoon, YouTube. On our way to Fostoria, the trailer that's high hooked, or the Kingpin ended up on the wrong side of the fifth wheel, or I'm not sure exactly. Find out when we get there, but it's like a pretty common problem in trucking. The trailer was dropped too high and the driver wasn't paying enough attention and backs under it. You end up in this kind of pickle. So I said in a previous video, I haven't released that one yet. I guess I shouldn't quote that. I've had a few people comment about the driving part, like they like seeing the landscape when I'm driving there, so I was going to include a little more of that in the future video. So if you don't want to see that, feel free to skip through to the action part. But I just thought of a funny story right before I turned the camera on. So when I first went to start doing these videos, I ordered a GoPro. It was like $400 and something. And the very first video I tried to make, we were moving them wind turbine blades, and I had put the camera up on a suction cup on top of the wrecker, and was going to do a time lapse of how as I wove through their property, and the freaking camera fell off and got crushed. And it was the first time I'd ever used it, the $400 camera, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. And $400 is a lot of money, so I don't know what it was. Something told me to just order another one, so I ordered another one that day, another $400 and some, which is the one I'm still using. I have a smaller one too, but this goes to show you, you know, if you get discouraged about something and feel like, yeah, that wasn't worth it, didn't work the way I wanted it to, but it's proven to be pretty successful. We're going on, what am I in, 9 months of doing this, 10 months of doing this, 70-something,000 subscribers and 5 million views and all that. So just a little life lesson, you know, get beat down a little bit, just keep pushing. And that $400 or $800 I ended up spending on those cameras, you know, is paid for itself. Obviously, I, you know, make money to do this. It's not a life-changing amount of money, but it makes it worth putting the time into it. The biggest reason is to promote the company and all that, but I do get paid from the ads, so I appreciate you guys sitting through the ads. It makes it worth, you know, the hours I spend. Honestly, I spend more time answering all the comments than I do editing the videos. A longer video, like that rollover video I just did, that was about 3 hours of footage. So to cut all that down, that does take some time, and I usually end up going through it several times to make sure I cut stuff out that shouldn't be in it. As far as, I try to leave all the record stuff in, but I don't want, you know, people's personal information being shown, or, you know, like if the driver there is injured and bleeding or something like that, obviously we don't want that to be shown. So I try not to, like I said, when I started doing this, and I've mentioned several times, I want it to be as authentic as possible, so even the bad, you know, stuff doesn't go how I want it to. I want that to be in the video. But I do have to go through it several times to make sure I don't miss anything, and I still do miss stuff. So you figure, you know, if you have 3 hours of footage, you got to go through it several times and, you know, cut out stuff. It adds up to be a decent amount of time. And then answering the comments, you know, some of these videos will have thousands of comments, so I try to respond to every one of them. I'm sure I've missed some, but it takes some time. So we're just getting into Fostoria here. I did another video last month of when we were going through another part of Fostoria, and as I said in that one, this is probably the closest, like, actual town I would have to be in a hometown. I grew up, I don't know, maybe 10 miles from here. They're just out in the middle of nowhere on a county road. So this was the closest actual town. They had, you know, grocery stores, restaurants, hospital right here. So this is State Route 613. It actually jogs this way through town. We're gonna sneak through here. We're not supposed to, technically. Don't tell on me. Save us a little time. Otherwise, you gotta jog through a bunch of crap over there. We're going to Church and Dwight distribution center over here. Come over here quite a well. I guess this might be the first time I've come over here for Flag City. Maybe the second time. My old job, we came over here quite a bit. So yeah, it shouldn't be terrible. The loads are trailers that are coming out of here are usually very heavy. They're usually loaded to the max, you know, 46, 47,000 pounds. I got the 50-ton rotator. I was already in this. I went and did a tow, and the tow that I did, I definitely didn't need this, but I find what keeps happening is, especially with Christian being out right now, if I do the tows in a rotator, then when I get the other call that needs a rotator, I'm already in it. I don't have to run back to the shop and switch. So I've been towing a lot with this just to save some time. And it just makes sense, you know. Just do what I need to do. Actually, I'm going to be driving by a good friend of mine's house, Ron, older guy. I used to work out with him at the gym here in Fostoria. Good dude, I haven't seen him in a long time. I'll be driving right by his house. Maybe I should stop and say hi. So this is about one of the best things in Fostoria. My parents love this place. They go here religiously, the old Dairy Queen here. I remember coming here when I was a kid. Standing out here and watching the cool cars go by. Not so many cool cars nowadays, but maybe I'll stop there and give me a milkshake on the way back. See if I do good on this. Most of this looks pretty much the same as when I was a kid. Some of the businesses have changed. Names are different businesses. This little plaza back here is pretty run down now. It used to be, there was a Kmart back there back when I was a kid. That's before they had all the super Walmarts and stuff. But there used to be like a music store in there and like a pet store back before digital music and all that, and it was a big deal. Maybe some older people, I'm 41, will remember, like on Tuesdays new albums would come out and you go to buy a CD. When I started driving, you had the big the book of CDs, big leather bound book, and you'd sit there and flip through that thing for 10 minutes before you ever left to go to where you were going. That used to be Auto Light, and then it was Honeywell. Made spark plugs there. I don't even know if there's anything. I mean, I guess there's something going on there. I don't know what they do there now, or if anything. Starting to turn here, kind of getting excited to hunt some deer here soon. Me and my boy Maximus, my youngest boy, he loves hunting. We got to get out and do some big piles and stuff. Oh yeah, that's got my truck right there. So there's a way to do this where you just use wood blocks and use the airbags on the tractor. I'm sure any record driver that's watching this, or even truck driver, a lot of truck drivers know how to do it. It's not always possible, but sometimes you can just put some wood blocks on the frame rails, inflate the bags, put the landing gear down, go back and forth a couple times. with some blocks. Kingpin is in front of the fifth wheel. That's obviously not good, right? How much weight's in the trailer?
42.
Okay. Are your bags deflated right now?
What's that?
Are the bags down right now?
No, they won't. It's not working.
Okay. Like he drug it forward some too. It's all right. Sometimes you just people being. So we might do this. I don't want to rig up and lift it if I don't have to. We'll try a couple things. Part of the problem is that his airbags won't deflate, so yeah, that might work. Let me back up. Might be able just to flip that fifth wheel plate forward as he pulls forward and then just lower the trailer a little bit. We're going to try that first before I rig a bunch of stuff up. Pull forward real slow when I tell you.
Okay.
Obviously, trusting truck drivers when doing this kind of stuff is a little scary. It's close. Put this thing in low gear. I mean, it's physical labor, but you can pick them up as long as they're not bound. So that's all we got to do. So now we just gotta lower it. All right. Hopefully you can see that. That's it. A little bit of elbow grease. Turn this off while I'm doing the check. Alright YouTube, so we're out of here. So what you have there is the result of a, I don't know how else to say it, a lazy truck driver. I didn't have to lift anything. All I had to do was about 30 seconds of physical labor cranking the landing gear in low gear, and just flipped up the fifth wheel plate and had him back under it. So you know, looked like a younger dude. I get there's elderly people or people that have some handicaps and stuff, but good Lord, man, I'd be embarrassed if it was me. Maybe that's not the right attitude to have, but I can guarantee you if I call for, ask my company to spend several $100s to fix my problem, I've exhausted all options of fixing it myself. But that's all right. If we didn't have that kind of thing, we wouldn't be in business. So I'm not complaining at all. It's just surprising sometimes you see that stuff. Like, man, dude, you could have just taken care of this and been on down the road. But it's all right. Happy to have the work. So, I said that's Church and Dwight Distribution Center. The Church and Dwight manufacturing facility is in Old Fort, which isn't far from here. I think they make the baking soda and all that stuff there. And this is just distribution. So, I think it's a fairly new facility, maybe in the last 10 years or so. Yeah, a lot of trucks go in and out of there. So. All right, we're gonna head back to the shop. Like I said, I don't know if anybody will find this entertaining. We didn't lift anything with the wrecker. All we did was drive it there. And it would have been the same cost whether we used the wrecker or whether we didn't. And it was a very fair and favorable price. About half of what our competitors would have charged them. So that's honestly probably why they called, because they get called way more than we do. They advertise way more. Their name's been around a lot more. This is not me bad mouthing anybody, so please don't take it that way. I know some people there will take it that way. I'm not bad mouthing them. I'm saying their name has been out there for so much longer, and they are the biggest in the area, and they do a lot more advertising than we do. And, you know, so right now I do our advertising. It's a very minimal budget that I spend on it. Made all our business profiles. I made our website, which obviously I'm barely a tow truck driver, let alone make a website. You know, luckily there's sites out there that, you know, make it a pretty easy process to do. But you know, none of our stuff is super fancy. A lot of our stuff is word of mouth. People are happy with our service, or you know, or even the YouTube thing. People have called us from that. They see how we do things and call us and ask to help. So there's old Vinny. That dude used to beg on the street by my house when I lived in Findlay. Long story. It's kind of, you know, yeah, everybody around here knows Vinny. So yeah, we're gonna head back to the shop. Hopefully we get another call on the way. We'll do something else. Like I said, I just did a tow this morning. Came and did this, so pretty easy day so far. I do got some stuff to catch up on in the office. It's been helpful. Christian's off, right? Or well, not off. He's working, but he can't do physical stuff right now. So he's been handling the phones and doing a lot of the administrative stuff that I usually do. So that's been a nice change, and I like that I can trust him to handle that. I don't got to worry about it, and I know it keeps him and he wants to be involved and help as much as he can. So yeah, we'll head back. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I'm sorry this wasn't entertaining. We didn't pick anything up. We didn't pull on anything. Just maybe people will find it interesting. You know, it can't always be the big elaborate recovery. Sometimes, like I've said in previous videos, the easiest solution is the simplest solution is oftentimes the best solution. So, you know, we could have rigged up, drug out 5/8 chains and put snatch blocks in and did all the things and picked it up, and yeah, we could have done that. Why? Because it looks cool and it makes a better thumbnail? I'm not going to do that. We're going to do the simple thing, get the customer going, get me back to where I'm supposed to be, so we can take care of our other customers. So, thanks for watching.